Captain's Log, Stardate 35670.4. The away team has returned to the Valor. Their current passenger has been resting in sickbay for a short while. The Valor has been ordered to hide near the Argolis Cluster to hide them from the Cardassian Listening Post. Admiral Whitley, on board the USS Excalibur, is set to rendezvous with the Valor to discuss the issue at hand.
All right. That we will go to the bridge. As you guys are currently hiding in a section of space that limits the sensor, essentially range of the Cardassian Listening Post, so they do not see you currently. But yeah, currently you have your passenger who's currently resting in sickbay, and then another person that you captured that's in the brig.
And out of curiosity, did Exo get a chance to read over my request to modify the weapon system?
The 700-page Doomaflachi?
Yep.
I don't think we've been back that long. You put up the gist of it again? Not seeing it scrolling up in Roll20, or did you put it in builded?
I have to find it. Basically, he just sent you this basically 700-page, like straight out of like a academy essay style report for theories on how to improve weapons penetration of inroads.
Yeah, the Shran will send it back with the comment. Interesting ideas here. Determine best one to focus on and provide me with an executive summary. No more than 2,000 words. And I'll send it back to him.
Okay. Executive summary. Him like in this pad in the back, and you see him kind of like counting.
Fundamentally, the Shran is all for it, but you've got too many possibilities. You need to narrow it down to the one that's the most doable and most effective.
Yep, he's just all about bureaucracy and going through the proper chain of command, and basically he's the opposite of Taven.
Fair enough.
By the way, how do you change your name up?
On what?
On Goated?
If you just right click on your name, like up at the top of the voice lobby, very bottom of the little pop-up, you'll see change nickname. I'm sorry, left click, not right click.
What do you guys plan on doing currently? You have the one person that's in sickbay, another one that's in custody, while you wait for the admiral to arrive.
Captain, I recommend that we question the dissident in sickbay. He was pretty badly injured. If he's conscious at this point, he might be able to provide a little bit more information than what he was able to give us, which was basically that Asuka was in grave danger on Cardassia Prime and that we needed to extract her.
Agreed. We have to get the information from him, so that would probably be the best course of action. Also, I have temporarily resolved my Klingon issue.
That's excellent news, sir. Is Lara still aboard?
That she is. She will expect us to find out information on the whereabouts of the Herc vessel.
Understood.
Let's just say she wants to reclaim her honor.
Aye, sir.
So, who is going down to sickbay?
I guess the captain would be one of them. Probably the commander, so there's a familiar face.
Sounds good.
You arrive in sickbay, the two of you. Currently, he seems to be somewhat awake.
Mr. Carr, are you up to answering a few questions?
Of course. Do you know
This
when
is
there'll be
Captain...
a rescue mission being planned? We must hurry.
This is Captain Jason Maxwell, commanding officer of the Valor. It's the starship you're currently aboard. We are expecting we are currently expecting and waiting on orders from Starfleet concerning the situation, but we need to get a clearer idea of what's happening. We thought perhaps you could help us with that.
Of course.
So what exactly is the situation is Oscar's situation on Cardassia Prime?
Well, that's where she resides at in her family's dwelling, but I was in the Mishkish system where I was aiding some fellow Cardassians and trying to gather some information when I learned that Bumlet was heading to Cardassia Prime. Oska has been investigating him, and I believe that he plans to eliminate his current problem. He's trying to ally himself with several other members within the Obsidian Order.
I'm taking some notes here. Hang on. Well, forgive me for being blunt, but Nugget Bimlet has not exactly impressed me as someone with the intelligence and cunning that one would need to take out someone like Oscar.
Forgive me, but you underestimate him. He has been amassing several powerful people to his side. He is planning something.
And why do you believe a rescue and extraction operation by Starfleet is the best solution to Oscar's situation? There are, we know, elements in the Cardassian military and Obsidian Order who are not any fonder of Bimlet than we are. Oscar's resources in the past have proven to be significant.
Her influence has been weakening as of late. She is under suspicion, and my recent actions are going to further that suspicion.
What is your connection to her?
I am her aide.
That's where I've seen him before.
She also recently took in a Bajoran slave with an artifact. Typically, members of the Obsidian Order don't keep slaves.
If, and I do mean if, such a operation was to be mounted, would you be able to give us some fairly specific coordinates as to where we might find Oscar, an address, a particular city?
I could give you the coordinates of her family's homestead. She should be there.
Excellent. So your recent activities that you believe have placed you in under greater suspicion, what was the nature of these operations?
I was helping some political rivals within the government secure passage to other parts outside of Cardassian space.
Dissidents, you mean? At least that's what your government would call them.
Yes.
Captain, do you have anything to add?
Not at this time. It seems like we have received the information that we need, at least for now. I would rather wait for the Admiral's take on this.
One last thing, Mr. Carr, and I'll let you get back and get some rest. What's your best guess of how much time we have to get Asuka out, should the go-ahead be given?
Itinerary for Leglet Bemlet's vessel to arrive in Cardassia Prime is 2 weeks. If anything, he'll make his move then.
Are you able to provide us with any security clearances or codes that might help us get through the system security networks in Cardassia Prime?
Any security clearance I would have known have been revoked by now.
Understood. Thank you for your help, Mr. Carr. As soon as we receive orders from our superiors, we will try and keep you informed as much as possible.
Thank you, please. Hurry.
Tran will follow the captain out. In the hallway, I'll turn to the captain and say, "Well, sir, what do you think?"
Certainly understandable. If Oshka's been investigating Bimlet, then knowing how some Cardassians are, it's understandable that they would want to get her out of the way.
Well, I can see that, but mounting this kind of operation in 2 weeks, under 2 weeks, that's a big ask at the best of times. And are we sure this Asuka is really one of ours, not just a double agent?
True.
I somehow doubt they'll let us take the Valor into the capital system of the Cardassian Empire.
Yeah, that definitely won't happen.
Nope. The Admiral is coming with ideas and resources. Last thing I want is to find myself facing a galore in a shuttlecraft again.
Agreed. Kind of hoping he has a Cardassian vessel that we can use to slip in, but then would need all the security information and everything like that.
Well, he is Starfleet intelligence, but I don't like this, Captain. I don't like this one bit.
Neither do I.
Almost a bit too convenient that the whole setup is almost just a bit too convenient. We could be flying right into a trap. This is assuming, of course, that the Admiral wants us to actually do this.
Agreed.
Well, sir, I'll start reading up on astrogation data for Cardassian space and Cardassia Prime, I suppose.
Meanwhile, elsewhere, Admiral Haggard, you just accepted a subspace call from Admiral Hunter Whitley.
Admiral Whitley, nice to see you again. What can I do for you?
I need to call in a favor. Ulysses, I need you to speak with a associate, at least someone you've dealt with in the past, at Laura 2, the Green Star sister Nora, or Nola, Nalo, sorry. I need you to broker a deal to acquisition a certain item that she is in possession of.
Of all the three sisters, Nalu was the one that
It's the daughter of
had...
Sevne.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've spoken with my goddaughter. This is a big ask. What are we trying to get from the Green Star sisters?
Cannot say over subspace, Ulysses, but if you need to, use the phrase, the Kanar is too bitter. She'll know what it is, what it means.
All right. What's the urgency level on this?
Priority 1. Once you acquisition the item, contact me on the Valor to set up a rendezvous point.
All right. I look forward to finding out what all this is about one day.
I'll inform you of all the details when we can talk face to face.
Fair enough. Haggard out.
And the screen goes blank. And then we cut back to the bridge of the Valor. Two of you've taken your postings.
The Shran will be researching Cardassian space and Cardassia primes and routes there too, while also keeping us in the shadow of the Argolis Cluster and out of the sensor sweep of the listening post. Nalo or Nalu?
I've been going now low.
Sir, the USS Excalibur is coming into sensor range.
Understood. Make ready for the Admiral's arrival.
What sort of information are you going to look up on Cardassia Prime?
Everything we have on, the system security, trade routes, military routes, just all the astronavigation and information that we have. Anything that might help me in either A, looking like a Cardassian vessel on legitimate business, or B, doing a sneaky sneak.
I will give this to you. The Cardassians typically keep 12 to 15 vessels within their home system. Trade routes are usually in flux at times, but many of them go to worlds that they are known to occupy. In terms for security arrangements, Starfleet doesn't have a great idea of what their security is like on the surface.
Okay. I'll do a little research on trying to determine the best place to unobtrusively cross the border and slip into a regular route towards the Cardassian system, looking for a place we can cross the border undetected and kind of slide into a regular route without it being detected that we're coming from outside one or the other end of that route, if that makes sense.
Save that thought.
Okay.
Sir, we're receiving a hail from the USS Excalibur.
On screen.
Captain Maxwell.
Admiral?
Prepare to receive myself and a couple of my aides. Will be transporting over shortly. Briefing in your conference room in 10 minutes.
Understood.
Whitley out.
Well, senior staff to the conference room. I'll go greet the Admiral.
Aye, sir.
Do you require a honor guard for the Admiral?
I don't believe that'll be necessary.
Very good,
Lieutenant
sir.
Jace.
Anything else anybody wishes to do before we cut to the transporter room?
I'm good.
Captain, you head down to the transporter room.
And I'll look to the transporter chief and energize when ready.
And on the transporter pad appears Admiral Whitney, two of his aides, plus what appears to be like a probe or a torpedo on the transporter pad. Currently, it's on a floating cart type deal.
Okay, it's on an anti-grav lift.
Yes.
Admiral?
Captain, this is Dr. Claire Higgins and Commander Alex Marshall. They'll be attending the briefing as well.
And the other item?
Do you have a secure place you can store the item for the time being?
Probably could store it in one of our torpedo bays, as long as it doesn't get...
Prefer it not be stored there, Captain. Someplace close to the transporter room. Under guard, if you wouldn't mind.
I'll see what I can work out, Admiral.
Kind of looks to Marshall. Commander, stay with the object until you're able to store it securely. He kind of nods. Of course, sir. Captain, after you.
Of course. And he'll look to the transporter chief and go, see if we can store that in, like, the, emergency arms room or something like that.
Yes, sir. I'll see to it.
And the captain will head towards the conference room.
As everyone takes a seat in the conference room, Admiral Whitley stands over by the sort of viewer and sort of waits for a minute until the other aide enters the room and sort of stands at attention near the doorway. I want to thank all of you for your diligence on the operation you just carried out. And the prompt rescue, as well as the quick evasion of Valor class in a shuttlecraft. Well done, Commander Strand.
Thank you, sir. It was an interesting bit of flying.
Your passenger, which I'm sure after you've already, assuming you've questioned him a little bit, is the aide of the Obsidian Order agent Oska Zalden. She is a prompt member of the Zalden family, which is something of a little bit of royalty in a way on Cardassian Prime. Her family has a high influence, and her rise in the Obsidian Order is no such small feat. However, you are not to rescue her or extract her. Is that understood?
Ace looks back at the captain curiously.
Why is that, Admiral?
It is not our place to meld within the affairs of the Obsidian Order and the Cardassian Union. But that is not why I called you to rendezvous you and called this meeting. We believe Leglet Bemlet has been operating a secret base somewhere within Cardassian space. Recent chatter indicates that Bemlet's forces led an extensive operation to capture an alien vessel that nearly wiped out a third of his fleet. From my understanding, this is the same vessel that you freed, Captain Maxwell, a month and a half ago.
Herc?
I am not clean on superstition not upside. This vessel, from you or even the ship's scans that you took of it, is highly advanced and could put an edge. Give the Cardassian edge if they were to reverse engineer that vessel. Since we know when Leglet Bemlet will be at, I am asking all of you to undertake an infiltration mission to plant a tracking device on Bemlet's cruiser. With any luck, we will be able to trace Bemlet's cruiser to the secret base that they've been operating at, where they took the alien vessel to.
Admiral, is the plan to try and intercept Bimlet's vessel before or after he arrives at Cardassia Prime?
I believe Bemlet will be engaged in matters on Cardassia. While his vessel is in orbit, you will stealthily get onto his vessel and plant the bug. Well, tracking device. Commander Marshall will assist in any training activities that your men required, as well as go over detailed operational plans to help you succeed at this mission. I have already taken steps to assure your matters on getting into Cardassian space unnoticed and out. Once I get word of when a certain vessel has been acquired, we'll be rendezvousing with the USS Argo. Any questions?
Not from me, Admiral.
Admiral, do we have the intelligence we need to allow us to move through various levels of security in the Cardassian home system?
Security clearance will be given out. We've managed to obtain. They should still work, though they are not of high rank, but it should get you access to the ship. As for disguises, Dr. Higgins here is an expert on reconstructive surgery. She will be able to help you blend in.
Admiral, Asuka's aide seems to believe that her position is in significant danger from Bimlet and some new allies he's acquired. And that she may be in some real danger.
She is not Starfleet's responsibility nor Starfleet intelligence.
Understood, sir.
As for Mr. Kahar, he will remain on board the Valor. And I'm sure you would like to go along with your crew, your away team for this assignment, Captain. So I'll be taking command of the Valor until your return.
I understand, Admiral.
Go ahead, Quentin. I don't believe the Admiral here is standing on too much formality.
Oh, sorry. Let's see. Sir, I was just wondering, do we have any information on the Cardassian that we captured as well? It'd be useful for interrogation and potential fired from this source, sir.
Far as I'm aware, he's just a low rank Glenn in the Cardassian unit. Someone who is had the unfortunate being captured by Starfleet, at least in his eyes. While we don't deal with interrogation, we will question him when he opens himself up.
You see Jay slowly starting to bring his hand back up. One other thing, Admiral, if I may. How detailed of maps do we have for this mission? Could we create simulations of the ship for security teams to practice the cover?
The admiral kind of looks to Marshall. He kind of speaks up. Yes, Lieutenant. I do have a training program simulation that I will be running you and your infiltration squad through to be able to complete your objective. The map should be close enough, but you should be able to learn from the locations and signage of where you need to go to plant the tracking device.
Very good, sir.
Admiral, to this point, we've been treating Oscar's aide as more of a guest than a prisoner. Should our attitude towards him be otherwise?
For the moment, he'll be treated as a guest aboard your ship. I see no reason why to treat him as a hostile. He's been forthcoming with most of the information he's acquired. As to what happens to him later on, it is up to him. However, I doubt he'll be able to return to the Cardassian Union anytime soon, as he is wanted by every security organization there.
Do we have any information on the type of vessel we'll be taking in? I wouldn't mind spending some time on the holodeck getting used to the controls. I haven't had the opportunity to pilot terribly many Cardassian vessels.
You should be able to be somewhat familiar with it. I will tell you, it is not of Cardassian origin.
Yes, sir.
If you excuse me, I need to monitor a few other things. If you have any questions, feel free to seek me out or one of my aides here.
He snaps to attention.
And the three of them leave the conference room.
Respectfully, Captain, I'm not sure what you did to make us the favorite infiltration team of Starfleet intelligence in this sector, but I wish you'd undo it.
I don't know what I did either. I mean, he knows what happened last time he sent us on a mission, right?
As we'll say with kind of very respectful tone. Sir, we should take this opportunity to follow our orders and earn the respect of our chain of command. They obviously see something in us. We must earn that respect.
Lieutenant Jace, the last time that admiral gave us a mission, we had to infiltrate a Cardassian prison planet where I was tortured. and the commander, as well as your the former security chief, and several others of the Valor had to fight their way out of the prison encampment.
Not to mention that Lieutenant Yamasharo's predecessor was killed on that mission. One thing you'll learn quickly, Mr. Quinton. Getting involved with Starfleet intelligence is more often than not a quick way to a burial in space. Full honors, of course, but oftentimes the casket is empty.
See him a little shocked. Yes, sir.
Well, Captain, I don't know that there's much for us to do until whatever transport the Admiral has arranged for us arrives, or we meet the Argo.
Apparently so. There's not much for us to do, other than get our faces reconstructed.
My antenna already ache. Keeping them pinned down under prosthetics is, you wouldn't believe the headache.
I believe it. Also, Lieutenant Quintan, if you would post a guard outside the emergency arms locker outside transporter room 1. There's an
Yes,
item
sir.
there. There's an item there that the Admiral wants secured, and he wouldn't even tell me what the item was. So
Might
Yes,
have
sir.
something
I
to do
will
with this tracking device.
hopefully,
sign
yeah,
Mr. Duo immediately to that.
understood.
I have to say, sir, I've been delightfully pleased with my other counterpart at Ops. He is a very pleasant individual and enjoy having him on the bridge.
Well, that is good. Well, gentlemen, if there's nothing else for me, then I guess this meeting is adjourned. And if you guys have anything for me, then you know where to find me.
And Lieutenant Quinton snaps to attention.
And the captain will head out towards the bridge and
Yep. The Shran will follow, heading back towards the station.
Lieutenant Quinn will tap his communicator and give an order. And Duo to report outside weapons area.
Okay. With that, we're going to cut elsewhere. Admiral Haggard, do you bring anybody else down to the planet's surface to where a certain Green Star Sisters base of operation is at?
No, I'm going to guess that this is probably fewer people involved in this, the better.
You come out as you come up to the door. You see two Orions currently guarding the entranceway. They kind of look at you. Are you in your admiral uniform, or are you just wearing casual clothing?
Casual clothes. Let's not make a terrible obvious about this. What was that passphrase again? The Canar stickily or something? What? What was it, Quentin?
I think the
Oh, I got
Canar is bitter.
Is bitter. Yeah, there it is. I did have it. Was I able to let them know that I was on my way? The Green Star Sisters, I mean.
To a degree, yes.
Okay.
And the two Orions at the door don't recognize you, and they go, "State your business." So they hold their hands up.
My name's Haggard. I'm here to see Nalo. I am expected.
They kind of look at each other for a moment. You may pass.
Thank you, gentlemen.
As you enter over by the bar, you see what appears to be an empty sort of establishment currently. Of course, it is bright daylight. For an odd reason, you see her sort of picking up stuff. Admiral Ulysses Haggard. It's been far too long.
Let my eyes adjust to the darkness. Nalo. Good to see you again. It has been too long.
Can I offer you a drink? On the house, of course.
I don't suppose you have any coffee.
It's not something we get requested, but I'll see if the replicator has something.
No, never mind. Don't go to that kind of trouble. Aldebaran whiskey.
She reaches on the bar, pulls a bottle out, and sets the glass on the table and pours you a drink. Then she reaches and takes another glass and pours herself a drink and puts the bottle away.
Is Sevne still alive, or her sisters?
Her mother is Sevne,
right.
You know, but no, they Only one of the sisters is still alive, and that's Etsuko, who was the youngest. The other two
Right.
have passed away.
How is your aunt getting on?
I think she's finding retirement on Ryza rather boring, but to each their own.
Well, Eshko was never one for the quiet life. And yourself?
Business is
Mother-
good.
Your mother had her sisters to help manage this operation. It's a lot for one person's shoulders, but from what our intelligence files tell me and my own network, you're doing quite well with it.
I make do. I do have a little help with my younger brother, but
Of course. Well, as much as I wish that this could be a completely social call, I'm afraid I'm here for a favor.
favors from Ulysses, as my mother would always say, always come with certain strings sometimes. So, what string are you putting on me, Admiral?
Well, interestingly enough, I'm spending one for a friend. I'm supposed to tell you that Kanar is too bitter. My guess is it has something to do with transport.
You see her face just kind of like change, like more of like, sort of I'm seeing someone I recognize, an old, potentially old friend, but
Right.
And then it's more like, oh. And what does Admiral Whitley want? I'm assuming he didn't say it like always.
Of course not. He never says anything. I at least managed to wring a promise to get the full story when we next met face to face. But you know as well as I do that he's not a man who lets much of anything pass his lips.
Well, she takes her drink and just drowns it. Well, you're in for a ride of your life then.
I probably would have liked the sound of that more in my younger days. Now it just kind of fills me with a bit of trepidation. What exactly am I looking at here?
Well, the phrase you say is what I use for transporting people out of Cardassian space. I'm assuming this isn't to transport people in. Is to transport people into Cardassian space?
I mean, Whitney, probably. And probably some people under my command at that. I'm assuming this transportation is discreet.
Very. Where do you happen to know where it's going?
No, I am to arrange a rendezvous with Admiral Whitney once I have secured the transport.
And am I supposed to just hand this over to you? Because as you can see, that transport is a fair amount of my business.
Well, I certainly don't have any problems with your people traveling along with the Argo and piloting your own ship, but I would guess that knowing Whitney, wherever he's sending it, it's probably not going to be the most healthy place in the galaxy. And I can further guess that after a certain point, he's not going to want anyone but Starfleet personnel involved.
Well, if he's wanting to use my transport, then I'm coming along with a few of my people. I
grins.
will be. It took a lot to get that vessel, and I don't plan to lose it.
Good on you. Your mother would be proud. And Haggard shoots down the whiskey with a slight grimace. Well, the Argo is in orbit. So whenever you're ready, apparently there is some urgency surrounding this mission. Oh, and Nalo, even though I'm calling in a favor for someone else, you can take it as read that I owe you for this one. And it sounds like it's a pretty big O. So if you need me, call me. And I'll do everything I can.
Could use a few dilithium crystals.
Define a few.
25.
I think I can round up that amount.
My ship is very power hungry.
Yes, I think we can arrange that. Shouldn't be a problem. Anything else?
No, but I'm sure I'll think of something.
Well, our mother and I had a very positive relationship for decades that worked out to both of our benefits. I would not at all mind seeing that carry over to the next generation. So, if I can do you a favor within limits, I would be happy to. Just the usual rules that I'm sure you associate with Starfleet. And the Green Star Sisters have always been a force for stability in this region. And certainly your mother and aunts were pivotal in eliminating the slave trade in this region. Which
kind of like makes it kind of like a sigh, like your mother may not be too proud of what she's doing, but
so I'll see you in orbit.
yes, I will contact you when we're ready to depart.
Very well. By then, hopefully, I'll have some idea of where we're going. Haggard will head out.
Give me, as you're like walking out, insight plus con? Yeah, insight con difficulty
1. Take a threat for a third die, just for. I don't think any of my focuses would apply. Yeah.
Gain a momentum. You notice a bottle of actual Kanar that appears to have been like kind of halfway, filled, like it's been in part of it drunk.
Ah. Fair enough.
But yeah, you head back up to your ship, and after some time has passed, a Klingon D5 battlecruiser decloaks alongside the Argo.
Hail that ship.
And on screen appears Nalo. I hope I didn't disturb you, or well, startle you, Captain. Or sorry, Admiral.
Well, I have to admit, I wasn't expecting you to have such an interest in antiquities. Where did you find that thing?
Let's just say I brokered a deal with a certain Klingon who was more than willing to give it up.
Haven't
Kinda
seen one of
grins.
those since I was in the academy. It was more years ago than I would like to remember.
Well, the previous owner took good care of her. And I've made a
Sure.
few modifications myself.
I'm not at all surprised. Give me a moment to contact Admiral Whitley and we'll be on our way. I'll put her on hold and contact Whitney.
After some time, Admiral Whitney appears on screen. Lucy's.
Admiral, I have your item, your information currently. However, and I figure since you know who we're dealing with, you would have expected this. Her owners are crewing her.
Oh, I was hoping the owner would stay out of this, but it is what it is.
That wasn't going to happen. Where should we meet you?
She's not quick enough. The item's not going to get there fast enough, but I need you to rendezvous outside of Starbase 310. We'll meet you there.
Understood. And I'll switch back over to Nalo. What's your top speed in that thing?
Warp 6, but long journeys are sometimes fruitful.
Do I think there's a way we could, tractor her in close and then close her in the Argo's warp field, make things a little faster?
Yeah, this ship is a scale 2.
Okay.
It's not very big.
All right, Nalo. Since time is of the essence, why don't you snuggle in close and let me take you in my fields. We'll get there at least a little bit faster. Plus, I think you'll find my chef has an incredible flair for Orion food, or if you prefer, pretty much any other cuisine you might enjoy.
She kind of nuts. Very well.
We'll make that happen.
And with that, we will cut back over to the Valor. All right. At this point, you guys need to select who's going to be doing the infiltration of Bemlet's ship, so you can do the security training, or unless you guys want to do groups, however you wish to set it up.
Imagine Jace is going.
And the Shran.
And the captain has basically been told he's going.
Well, I didn't say you don't have to go. He assumed you wanted to go along.
Well, with this, I believe I remember who Bimlet was. I believe I've met him before.
Yes, twice.
He's
Yeah.
the one who
Okay.
ordered your torture.
Yeah, I figured that's who it was. So the captain is basically was going either way.
Amasharo or Adson, you coming?
Adjun can.
A question: can Jace roll for an advantage with the training on the holodeck to get advantage? Or the difficulty?
So, you're not sure what the training regiment's going to be, which is why it's a training type ordeal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just wondering who's going on, like, for the infiltration type deal, like for the training portion of it.
Oh, the Shran for sure.
So, is it Jace, Shran?
Ajin, are you coming?
He would be going to the training.
I don't see. Yeah. All right. The four of you enter the holodeck, and Marshall looks at the four of you. How many of you have engineering experience?
Jace will hold up his.
Is your chief engineer plan on staying behind?
Yes, sir.
I believe so at this time. He has not made any. He has not shown any interest in going.
Very well. Considering
Shazaret would be willing.
the smaller the team would better to infiltrate the Gull's cruiser would be the better. Some of you may need to operate the vessel that's being acquired for your trip to Cardassia Prime.
Well, Quentin, you may be wearing several hats. Piloting shouldn't be a problem. Imagine
As long
here
as you can
is
fly it, sir, as I'm always struggled with flying, but I used to tear apart the machines all the time on the farm when I grew up, so pretty good around kind of mechanical.
fair enough. The four of us is who we have. What's Marshall's rank?
Lieutenant Commander.
Four of us is who you have, Commander.
Understood. And kind of, while he's holding the pad, currently on this pad is an encryption level program that is to alter some of the systems on board a Cardassian vessel. This alteration in these systems, it takes some time to deploy, but it would enable us to track the Cardassian vessel by it emitting a subspace communication through its listening post network towards one of ours. It's essentially a little ping location. It's been a while since we've used it, but Cardassian systems shouldn't be able to detect it. One of you will have to enter the information, assuming no one is distracting, but you may be interrupted by other Cardassians on board the cruiser, which some of your jobs on the wait team is to essentially distract those officers while one of you enters this program into their system. It does take some time, and you need to be quick, or else the Cardassian computer security programs are in their mainframe will detect the program and alert to the intrusion. This simulation is to go over the effectiveness and how quickly you need to do this. Hopefully you can get in and out cleanly and without anyone noticing your presence. If they notice you, we will not be able to help you.
I assume for this mission we will be unarmed. Is that correct, sir?
We have standard Cardassian equipment that we'll be able to fabricate for you to help blend in.
Good, sir.
All right. Any particular place on the Cardassian cruiser we'll need to get to input the virus, for lack of a better word?
You'll have to go into main engineering on the ship or their computer core. We'll run simulations to infiltrate both sections of the ship. You will not be beaming aboard from our vessel. You'll have to beam aboard on Cardassia Prime itself.
So down to the planet and from the planet up to the cruiser.
Correct.
What about exfil? From the cruiser to our transport, or back to the planet and then up?
Back to the planet, then up. It is not to arouse any suspicion with the Cardassians.
What's our cover going to be?
Maintenance crew. Just
Fair
to
enough.
do simple check on their systems, in and out. One of you may have to run a short diagnostic on the computer systems. This training will help you get you familiar with the Cardassian systems. And he hands you the data pad. You might appropriate data pad of Cardassian origin will be given once we board the vessel.
Understood. What's the task going to be to upload the program?
It's an extended task, so it'd be daring plus engineering, difficulty 4, work 17, magnitude of 4, resistance of 2, and you'll only have 8 intervals to get it done.
Fun.
And this pad has that program in it.
Yes,
on
it
it.
has. Yeah, it has it on it. It's for the simulation purposes, like the
Right.
literally the holodeck will not confuse. It'll make everyone will think you're Cardassian on there, even though you're not like altered or
Right.
anything like that. But it's to really get to the location, and sort of a little training montage before the real thing.
Quentin, you'll be the one having to enter this. I passed him the pad.
Right, sir.
Believe we're ready when you are, Commander Marshall.
Computer, activate Marshall program Alpha 4. And the holodeck scenery changes to that of the... And Marshall kind of steps out of view. You don't see him anymore. Where the 4 of you are on the transport room of a Valor class Cardassian vessel.
I'm assuming we're carrying various engineering, maintenance crew stuff.
Yes.
Is there a transporter operator looking at us?
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to find the...
Oh, sorry.
stuff. You there. We want to accept a schedule from the surface. State your orders.
Maintenance crew here to do a diagnostic on the computer systems, make sure everything's running correctly.
This is Lakelet Bemla ship. It is operating at peak efficiency 24/7, 7 days, or 24/7. Well, the amount of hours in Cardassian.
Right.
You get the point. Like very, very, proud and bold.
Of course it is. Because of maintenance personnel such as ourselves, we keep it running that way.
Our engineering crew is more than satisfactory in keeping this vessel up to par.
And yet, as you know, every ship has to make sure that every ship has to be inspected to make sure that they are meeting the standards required by the Cardassian Union.
President's command, difficulty of 3, and whoever spoke can assist. And sorry to cut you off, Shran.
Okay. Because the Shran was going to say, you're welcome to take the state of present regulations up with Supreme Command, but I don't think you'll get very far. Central Command, rather. That's what the Cardassians call it.
Central Command. Whoever it's one is assist. Who's ever
you
the
said
main roller.
difficult.
Difficulty
You
is
said
3.
difficulty what?
Difficulty 3.
Difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay.
President's command.
Yeah. Let me take a momentum for that one, and refresh my memory. I think I have a 17 in President's Command.
Maybe. Yes.
How many assists are you allowing?
Whoever spoke can assist.
Okay. I'll wait for the caps roll.
So I rolled on the Valor Discord channel. Looks like I've got 3 successes.
There's currently a complication, so you do make the difficulty. You gain a momentum. There's a complication.
How much momentum do we have left?
Just
1.
one.
Oh, just the 1. Well, better to get them out now than in the actual mission.
Very well, but I will need to inspect your equipment first before we allow you to perform your maintenance. And he starts scanning you guys.
Shran will try and turn on a tool that will scramble his that will interfere with his tricorder or scanner, whatever it is.
Daring engineering difficulty of 2.
Okay, not my best, but daring is better than else. I will take the momentum for this for the 3rd die. Oh!
Get 2 momentum. I will throw a threat at this. Starts hitting his essentially equivalent tricorder. Blasted thing. Thought maintenance took care of this the other day.
Well, see, that's exactly why they have teams like us come aboard. You guys have done some pretty impressive things, but we know very well how that kind of extended combat and operations can wear on both a ship and its maintenance department. We're fresh. We'll come in, take a look at things. We'll be happy to fix that for you for sure.
Fine.
Yep.
Puts it away. Hurry it up. He heads back to his station.
Let's boogie on out of here.
Four of you enter the hallway and corridor. As you're walking by, you see other Cardassians, and they don't really try to get out of your way. Some of them kind of move aside a little bit, but most of them are heading in wherever department that they're going.
Right.
And Marshall kind of appears as you come to an intersection, and he points up and says, as you see, he kind of points, and there's different signage sort of on the corridor wall.
Mm-hmm.
This down here will lead to one of the turbo shafts, which will take you to main engineering. He kind of points to, the sign. This other one is corridor. If you follow it down, this will lead you to the computer room.
Can Shran memorize the signage?
Insight plus con, insight con difficulty 2.
Mental discipline for a focus?
Yes.
Just take a threat for the 3rd die and bold. Reroll that one of those zeros. There we go.
Gain 2 momentum. And he kind of looks to you, everyone, and says, carry on. Sort of advantages within the program.
We can do this from either the computer core or main engineering, right, GM?
Yes.
Say we start with the core, sir. I say out loud.
Agreed. It'll give us a head start on all of our scans.
You make your way to the engineering core as you enter the turbolift, and it comes to a halt, and the doors slide open, revealing the warp core and engineering bay of the Cardassian Valor class starship. I don't recognize you. Who sent you?
Central Command.
Why would Central Command be sending you?
Routine maintenance.
Standard protocol. Yeah.
I was not aware of such order.
How often does High Command send people to make sure that your ship is still at full combat readiness and announce that they're doing a surprise inspection?
If it's a surprise inspection, as the chief engineer of this boat, I would be notified of this. It is protocol.
This is rank.
It's not Glenn. I guess it's Glenn. Is that right?
Okay.
Equivalent to like below a goal.
Right. Sir, it's an inspection in terms of us checking out the basic soundness of the computer cores and engineering systems. Not to doubt you and your people's capability, but it is required when ships enter orbit at Cardassia Prime. This is what we do. We won't be in your way, and we won't take up much of your time. You've kept everything as well as you say. It'll be a simple matter of us plugging in, running a few systems checks, and then we're on our way. Or we can continue standing here talking with you, taking up your time and ours, until Argol starts wondering where we are, and we report that the crew aboard Leggett Bimlet's ship hasn't been terribly cooperative, and then it escalates into a whole different thing, and none of us managed to get our Kanar on time.
Sharon gave me presence command difficulty 3.
Oh, that's a steep one. I don't have no tools for command. Okay. So take 1 threat and 2 momentum for a total of 4 dice. Have any focuses that will help?
And JC will be assisting since you spoke earlier. Gain 1 momentum back.
Yeah, y'all just wait till the actual mission when I roll all the complications.
Very well, but I'll be watching.
Of course.
Please. This ship, though, is the pride of Leggett Biblet's forces. Keep a tidy engine room.
I'm sure, from what we've heard, the accomplishment of Gold Bimlet's forces in this ship couldn't have been achieved otherwise. Do we know what kind of panel we're looking for?
He didn't say, but you guys assume it could be any panel.
Ace will over and start working on it, and kind of give a little nod back to try to get the others to tension a little bit.
Shran will crouch down with him and appear to be assisting, although he's not the person you want to assist with an engineering task. Anybody else got an engineering better than 1?
Keep in mind, only one person can work on this. We'll be going into combat sort of rounds. So, not saying every one of you will probably have a task at some point to do, but it's one of those things like creating advantages and stuff like that for whoever's doing the role. But yeah, only one person can work on the actual entering the essentially virus into the system. But
Yep, the Shran will act like he's, quote unquote, assisting Quentin or overseeing him, maybe would be better.
Daring plus engineering, difficulty 4. Work 17, magnitude of 4, resistance of 2. You have a total of 8 intervals.
Right. Okay. I will give you 2 momentum and 2 threat for 4 dice.
It's 3, either momentum or threats or combination. For 4 total. So 1 threat and 2 momentum.
Spies are us.
Right. Cool. Hey.
Nicely done.
6 challenge dice, please. It's currently only 2 work.
Piercing I guess the 4.
You only have 1 momentum.
You can
Can't
either
use
do
threat for this, can you?
You can give me threats, but keep in mind that I'm going to spend that back at you. This will also use up 2 intervals. So
do piercing with the momentum, or you could go for the reroll and hope that you 3 in those 2.
What the resistance is? So
resistance is 2.
can I do the piercing with the momentum and then use the threat to reroll? Is that
Sure.
roll 2?
There you go.
So 7 work. As you start working and because we're in intervals, or well, so combat sort of. Another Cardassian comes up. I just double checked the interlocking matrix, sir. Was about to put the computer mainframe on our standard scheduled maintenance cycle. that's their turn.
Okay. Does it go back to me, or does everyone else have to go too?
Everyone else has to go. So you won't be able to go again until the next round. Keep in mind you're at 6 out of 8 intervals.
Can one, either EXO or Captain, direct me?
GM, does the Shran know if putting the computer into a standard maintenance mode would mess up what we're trying to do?
Yes.
All right. I apologize to interrupt. What are we exactly doing here on Roll20? Because I do not have access to Roll20 at the moment.
You weren't around, so you're not actually in the scene.
But basically, we're trying to install a computer virus to Trojan horse type deal.
They're currently training in the holodeck to infiltrate a Cardassian ship.
Right, training to do it.
The Shran will step up. Glenn, if you would mind holding off until we conclude our basic maintenance testing, putting your computers into the standard maintenance evolution. We'll just have us starting all over again once your diagnostics are run, and we'll have to stay on board and be in your way that much longer. We should really be done in 6 intervals.
Presence command difficulty 3.
Okay. Okay, we got no things, so I think I'm going to go for a determination spend.
What value?
Hold on to it until.
Keep in mind, you're not going to do the actual infiltration until the next session.
Right, that's what I'm figuring.
Okay.
Either people depend on me, or he who dares succeeds.
I guess I'll go for the latter one.
Okay. Or you can take creativity takes courage if you consider me trying to bullshit a Cardassian.
I'll take creativity takes that one.
Okay.
You're bullshitting him.
Yeah. So okay. You said diff 3.
Yes.
Okay, and then take 2 threat for a 3rd die. I don't have any bullshitting focuses.
Gain a momentum.
A total of 4.
Yes, gain a momentum. Hold off on that diagnostic. The Central Command Maintenance Team finish with their diagnostic.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I'm detecting a intense load in the computer mainframe. Permission to
Of course,
disable.
you're detecting a load. What do you think I'm doing over here?
It's either Jenna or Maxwell.
Maxwell is gonna walk up to the guy, take a look at his readings. Yeah, that's standard. We're running your computer mainframe at its highest capacity right now to make sure that it's operating at peak efficiency.
Presence command difficulty 3.
To assist on this one as well.
No, you're actively entering that in. Like, this all happened at one time. You gotta remember this. So.
Okay, you said difficulty 3?
Yes.
Let me take... We have a momentum, right?
Yep.
How many do we have? Just one?
1. I'm AFK for just a sec. I'll get it when I come back, Prax.
Let me do that in 2 threat.
Do you have a focus? That's the question.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No. So you get the momentum back. He kind of looks to the Glen. He just nods. Oh. Sir, I'm about to head to the transporter room to begin the diagnostic there. Some anomalous readings were detected in the last transport. I want to make sure that there's nothing in the system. I'd like to proceed with the full diagnostic if you don't mind. I believe, Jeddah, it's up to you.
Jeddah walks up to this Cardassian, looks at his readings, and tries to explain to him in very scientific detail about how all these anomalous readings are simple background emissions.
I've never heard of background emissions coming through the transporter buffer. Please explain.
You see, when we transport from the surface to the ship, some bacteria and other materials get caught that may not be identifiable by the biofilter, in which would cause these anomalous readings due to weird excretions from these single-celled organisms.
Well, more reason why I need to run a diagnostic to make sure it filters everything out properly.
The biofilter is designed to filter out harmful contaminants. Should you filter all bacteria out, you would kill yourself.
I suppose, but nothing a little bit of a probiotic would not help with. I really think I should still double check the transporter filters.
Can I make a science roll to try and convince him that this is natural?
Give me present science. I'm gonna make this difficulty a 4.
Focus in infectious diseases.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Can I spend my determination to the value pledged to survive? Can I spend my value to the determination?
You're not really gonna die. This is a training exercise, so
You probably could get away with mission directive.
mission directive is to go over the essentially to sort of train your go through like well yeah. I'll take mission directive because it's involved training, but you're learning how to deal with this certain situation.
And I will give you threat to activate bold science.
So 2 threat or 1 momentum and 1 threat.
2 threat.
Okay. You have 2 bonus momentum and you gain 2 momentum.
Advantage to say that there is no remaining readings that they can detect based on transporter buffers or anything of the sort.
So you're taking a step there as you're explaining to him. You're rewriting the their transporter algorithm, so you go unnoticed.
That would work.
Well, make it so they don't recognize it right away. That'll be the difficulty.
Okay, yeah, that would work.
Okay. Back to the top of the round. It's back to you, Quentin.
Hey, tapping away at my iris.
Daring plus engineering, difficulty 3.
Okay. I'll go ahead and use my determine.
What value?
Just follow my orders.
Sure.
Okay. And I will momentum extra die.
You're spending 2 momentum or a momentum or threat? It's 2.
I have 3 momentum, right?
Yes, but I didn't know if you wanted to save it in case for.
Yeah, I'll do 1 and 1. Why not?
Okay.
What could go wrong with giving you lots of threats?
I've been
daring, secure engineering, right?
Yeah, daring plus engineering. Gain a momentum.
4.
6 challenge dice.
By the way, should I be rolling untapped potential?
Yeah, roll untapped potential because you roll 1. Yeah. You have a float, and I get a threat.
Okay.
Currently, that's 4 work. Sorry, 2 work.
Okay. I will use my float to do piercing.
You're 1 short of a breakthrough.
And I guess 1 momentum for extra work.
All right, that'll get you the 2nd breakthrough. It will pass to them.
Tran will have drifted back over to quote unquote be overseeing Quentin, studying screens carefully while keeping an antenna out for what these fools are going to try and do next. Meaning the Cardassians, not my fellow crewmates. Sorry, I realized y'all couldn't see my mouse floating around the Cardassians when I said that.
Nope. So it is whoever wishes to go. Jeddah, Maxwell, or Shran. Currently, one of them is working away, tapping the console. Like, thought he might have noticed something, then kind of went back to something else.
Well, the Shran will direct Quentin to do a little bit more work on this thing. Let's hurry it up there. The Glenn needs us out of his way.
So,
Daring
Cardassian
engineering.
efficiency.
Daring engineering difficulty 2. And I'm gonna up the complication range to 2. Currently, you're at 4 out of 8 rolls.
I will go ahead and give you.
I'm going to be able to give you a crit.
Okay.
My direct, so you got 2 more coming.
Good time. So I'll do 1 momentum and 2 threat for dice.
Control command for the assist.
I'm going to use the Christopher Pike Medal of Valor to have the direct treated as if my D20 had rolled a 1.
Okay.
That's 2.
3 momentum gained. Roll 1 challenge dice first. You have 2 float for bonus, and then 6 challenge dice. That's 4 work.
Okay, I'll use 1 float for piercing and 1 for additional work.
That's 6. That's going to be a total of 7.
That's enough to get the program uploaded and finished, because that's the 4 breakthroughs you need.
I got it.
Got what?
All the data and readings we needed.
Yes.
Just as you said, Glenn, everything is Ship shape. In fact, from what I can tell, you've got your systems running 0.136% more efficiently than they were when this ship came out of the dockyards. Well done. Compliments to your computer techs.
Indeed. I'll escort you to the transporter room. Perhaps we can... I know a little place I haven't been to in a while. Perhaps we can grab a drink of Canar and some exquisite dining. I heard someone opened up a Bajoran... how to put the term... exquisite dishes. I heard something called hasperat.
Hasperat?
I heard it was disgusting, nevertheless worth to try.
Wonder if it'd go well with yamak sauce.
I do not usually consume the cattle's food.
Oh, come now. Even the Federation species occasionally come up with something to delight the discerning palate.
Gentlemen, I'm afraid our schedule is very full. We must depart from here and head on to our next vessel for inspection.
Of course, sir.
Another time, perhaps.
First,
Another time.
Gracious.
You head to the transporter room.
Yep.
You make it your way back. As you're walking down the halls towards the transporter room, two Cardassian soldiers walk up to you. You there. You four. Why aren't you in regulation uniform?
I look down.
Your uniform is not tidy. Look. You dare? The symbol is upside down. You defile the Union. How did you ever make it out of boot camp? Your boots aren't even regulation.
All right, sir. I'll get right on it, sir.
You call that a toy that's by your side?
Yes, sir.
Who is your superior officer?
That would be me, sir. I will deal with it once we are back at base.
Oh,
Who is
sir,
your commanding officer? Who's your direct superior? Wish to file a formal complaint.
Please, sir, you don't understand. His punishments can be extreme.
If his punishments are so extreme, then why you dishonor? Your presence
Surely
is
we
disgusting.
can come to an understanding. We are, of course, civilized Cardassians.
The way you walk, you're almost as if you were a Klingon.
While Kettle here is a disgrace when it comes to his personal appearance and uniform regulations, he is nonetheless a truly brilliant engineer, and our superior has allowed him, in my opinion, a bit too much latitude when it comes to certain other aspects in light of his undoubted abilities elsewhere. Of course, it doesn't hurt to be from the kind of family he's from either.
I didn't want to say anything, but my father will hear about this.
Ugh, one of those.
The Shran kind of lifts his eyeballs heavenward and just gives him a slight nod.
President's command. Shran opposed, but give me everyone like Maxwell and Jace can assist.
Okay.
President's command as well.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna spend a bunch of momentum, gang. 4 dice. All in. And 1 threat for a total of 5 dice.
Oh, we got this.
I got no way to re-roll this if it goes badly.
And it's
No
not like the
filters.
GM will be rolling against you.
Thashran, I will give you the captain's momentum. Determination, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll spend that on he who dares succeeds, or
Well,
creativity takes courage. Since again, shoveling on the BS.
sure. So you're rolling 5
Okay.
dice or 4 dice.
Well, no, because if I'm spending
you
the
roll.
determination, I'm rolling 4 dice.
I meant to say
let me make sure
you're spending 5 momentum.
Yeah. Did I give you enough there? Let's see. So that would have been 2 for the first die. I think I started with.
You had 5 momentum.
Okay, we're good. Not great, but that's 5.
Well, okay, that doesn't even apply. Well, so that's 6, so 4 momentum. Stats aren't very good. Be sure that your superior corrects him on the proper uniform procedures. And they start laughing as they walk off.
Let's head for the transporter room and get the hell out of here.
Sir.
And you step into the transporter room where the transport operator is like, back so soon? I was expecting you to be here all day.
When computers are running as efficiently as yours are, it takes a lot less time. We don't have to go through all the debugging and everything like that to get your computers back up to operational capacity.
I see. Well, glad to know the pride of the fleet is so efficient. And he taps on the console, and the 4 of you are beamed away. And the the program ends, and Commander Marshall starts clapping his hands.
Oh, thank you, Andorian Jesus.
Well done. Shall we try again? This time, level 2?
Level 2?
That was level 1.
Well, I suppose we'd better prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
As you guys start going through the alliterations again, taking several different routes to the computer core. Sometimes you succeeded, sometimes you failed. Sometimes Marshall came out and scolded you, told you what you did wrong, how to go about this a different way. And with that, as we go back to the bridge, where the Argo eventually rendezvous, not there, the Valor rendezvous with the Argo. And on screen, you see a D5 battle cruiser next to the Argo.
First an Archer class and now a D5?
Apparently, we rolled up on a museum.
Shran looks very excited. Man.
And Maxwell's head is just bowed a little bit with his hand over his eyes, rubbing his forehead. Oh no, here we go again.
Don't worry, Captain. I heard the owners keep her in tip-top shape.
Well, at least this one has a cloaking device.
Can't wait to get my hands on her helm console.
Are your men ready?
As ready as we'll ever be.
Then I'll see you in the transporter room to see you off. Time is wasting, and I need to talk. If you don't mind, I'd like to use your ready room. I need to talk with Admiral Haggard.
Will we be undergoing cosmetic surgery aboard the Valor or the D5?
The D5.
Well, let's hope our medical systems have been updated.
Klingon's doing it.
Meat cleavers.
Klingon doctors are not known for their finesse.
So do all of you head to the transporter room?
Oh yeah.
Amashar, are you going to join in on the away team next week? All right.
sorry, I forgot to dig out a map I thought I had. Actually, I think that's with the other game. Now I think about it. As all of you kind of gather into the transporter room before Admiral Whitley arrives, everyone's sort of gathered into the transporter room, and Shazare kind of says to you, Captain, I have already transported the others and their package over to the Klingon vessel.
Understood. In that case, I guess we're just waiting on the Admiral.
Walk to the other side. Padlock the transport. Always want to be on the right side.
Does Lieutenant J say that out loud?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Ensign Adjun's just like, yeah, that's just an excuse. You don't want to transport beside me.
Oh, no. It's a well-documented fact that transporting from the left side causes any number of problems. Some even say that transporting from the left too many times is what causes transporter psychosis.
You do know that left and right are subjective, right?
Well, always relative to. Nevertheless, I'll be on the right side.
Well, Captain, this promises to be interesting.
That it does. Hopefully everything goes smoothly.
Your mouth to the great bird of the galaxy's ear, sir.
Did quite well in this simulation.
Admiral Whitley enters. Sorry to keep you waiting. Gentlemen, I wish you good luck. And we'll be seeing you soon. Kind of gives a nod to everybody.
Thank you, Admiral.
Ensign, energize. If I could find the transporter thing. All of you beam aboard the Klingon vessel to find that token is huge. A Orion standing at the controls of the transporter. Welcome aboard.
Klingons
Well,
look different than in the textbook.
this is unexpected.
Unexpected.
We were only told that the owners of the Klingon vessel were crewing her. We were not told that they would be Orions.
We are the owners of the Klingon vessel.
Well, does make a certain amount of sense. You can think of several commercial ventures that might benefit from a well-kept ship with a cloaking device and decent armament.
And I can think of one person who has connections to the Orions, specifically the Green Star. That is, if I read reports right from back early days of the Argo.
Admiral Haggard, you mean?
Yeah,
Perhaps, Captain, you should introduce ourselves to the ship's commanding officer. Are there quarters prepared for us?
Yes. The captain is on the bridge currently. If you like, he kind of motions. Your quarters are on deck 2, section 4. They're not much. Kind of just.
Sure, they'll do fine.
And I will head to meet with the commanding officer.
Head to the bridge.
I'll go with the captain.
You guys walk across a little bit of scaffolding as you kind of look down to a deck below.
On engineering.
And you enter into the bridge and you see a Orion female sitting in the captain's chair. She kind of spins the chair around. Oh, you must be Captain Maxwell. Welcome aboard.
That I am, and thank you.
Shran will drift over towards the helm station.
The Orion who's sitting in it looks at you like, this is my spot? My men will be piloting this vessel. I hope you don't mind. It is mine after all.
And that means your crew would know it best.
It was the part of the deal I made with Admiral Haggard, not your friend in Starfleet intelligence.
Trust me, he is not my friend.
I don't suppose we have the time to let me have a little time at the helm console. This thing handles incredible at sublight.
I was told time was of the essence. Perhaps I can schedule something after the journey.
Shran's antennae kind of droop at the beginning of her sentence, and then when she mentions something after the journey, they kind of perk back up again.
I'm going to look over, because I have no idea who this Orion is. I'm going to go, well, Commander, if this mission goes anything like the last mission I went on, I would not expect to maintain your ship in one piece.
Well, if this vessel doesn't maintain itself in one piece, I don't think you'll be getting right back. So,
And
pray to whatever gods you wish to that no harm should come to this ship or its crew.
to be
Trust me,
fair,
we
Captain, we almost had that Galor. If the Archer class had just had one torpedo, it would have all been over.
I agree. That's what they get when they send you on a covert mission with nothing but an underarmed freighter.
Your friends are currently in the sick bay.
Yes, waiting to transform us into Cardassians.
My aching antennae.
Don't worry, it's a long voyage to Cardassia Prime.
Hopefully, I will get to understand your relationship with Admiral Haggard a little bit better.
He's
I
made no
am quite
advances.
curious. I am quite curious as to how he has the influence to pull something like this off.
Perhaps over dinner we can discuss things.
Dinner.
Perhaps.
Don't worry. I made sure the smell is gone.
Shran chuckles.
And the captain looks confused.
Klingons, sir.
Ah. Well, at least there's one piece of good news. He looks to the commander. We won't be eating gach on this trip.
I've had worse.
What is Jace and Yashiro and Zen doing?
Jace is just inspecting around, checking out, making sure everything breaker ship's apart.
And we're currently on a Klingon ship, right?
Yes. It's a typical Klingon ship, but it looks like the bulkheads have been pulled apart and replaced multiple times.
Yes. Also, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yamashara will go ahead and see if he can try to volunteer to help, maybe try to repair some of the bullets.
Perhaps at a later time. The Orion transport chief says to you.
Well, the bulkhead seem like they could use some repairs, but okay, you don't need some repairs to that. You guys have it all under control. It's how old is the ship, by the way?
Thank you.
Oh, I was asking him how old the ship was.
A Klingon D5 battle cruiser. Was retired a century ago.
Wow, I am surprised it's still curious. The what kind of
You're cutting in and out.
sorry. Sorry. What kind of things has done to the warp engine? I've heard the warp fives had some problems.
This vessel has been upgraded to the extent of what it could be upgraded to. Top speed is warp 6. Warp 7 if we push it. Though we would have to disable the cloaking device.
Not bad. May I take a tour of the core of the engine room?
Not at this time.
Of course. Yamachara, I think, will just go ahead and well, there's really not much to do on a Klingon ship, isn't there?
This time is essentially for like free roleplay or interaction with the NPCs before we end the session.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I'm sure. I think we'll just explore the ship a little bit and well, ask the transporter chief if can't be given a tour of the just the ship, not just the engine room.
He will guide you to your quarters and show you where the mess hall is at, keeping you away from their engine room.
Doesn't seem to trust Starfleet. All right. About sickbay. Can you show us where sickbay is?
He shows you and everybody else to where sickbay is at, which is where he took two others that transported over with you. Well, ahead of you.
Well. All right. Well, yeah, sorry, I'm not on Roll20, so I'm trying to figure out what he can do on the ship.
There's really nothing to do on the ship.
All right. Well, Yamashara will probably just hang out in quarters and just probably look into some of what on like a data pad and some of the specifications on a D5.
Okay. So real quick, all of you are outside the room to go into sickbay. As you all kind of met back up a little bit. And you've been shown to where your quarters are at. And you do hear the hum of the ship, and you look out a window, like if you can find a window, and you would see that you're currently at warp.
Currently where?
Currently at warp.
Oh, at warp.
So any volunteers to go first?
Well, I guess Yamashara will go first and be turned into a Cardassian.
Question is, between now and next week, is the GM going to use his Photoshop skills to do Cardassian overlays for all of our characters?
I've thought about it, but baby. We'll see. Yamashara, you walk in. You notice two others that were in the briefing. Just to clarify, one was a doctor. She clarified that she was a skilled surgeon. And then another aide in Command Red named Lieutenant Commander Alex Marshall, who works closely with Admiral Whitley. Oh, Lieutenant. Wasn't expecting anyone to start today, but if you would like, I can get started.
Sure. I just wanted to see how see this process. I don't believe I've ever experienced this process before. Is this painful? Anyway.
You won't feel a thing. In fact, you'll be sedated for the procedure, and when you wake up, your face will be different.
Okay, perfect.
You do notice over in the one corner a device that's sitting on top of the bed appears to be humming and has its own lights. Almost looks like a casing for like a torpedo or probe.
What is that device? Point towards the humming device.
Nothing you need to be concerned about, Lieutenant. Please have a seat and lie down.
Looks like some kind of torpedo. Is this like been modified?
Lieutenant, I cannot answer that question. Please lie down on the bed here.
Guess we'll go ahead and comply. See what happens.
Able to see the procedure in this room? Like, are there windows or?
No, there's no windows. Klingons don't have that foresight of.
Can Jace come in and watch the procedure?
Doors open.
I think Yamashar probably is dead here. A torpedo-looking device hanging over him.
She sedates you and you pass out. And JC, you can see that she's kind of preparing. She's, sets everything up as Yamashiro is currently unconscious on appears to be an operating table.
She revs the bone saw a couple times.
She just checks the laser scalpel, make sure it's working. See a little spark come out of it, and proceeds to start making alterations to Yamashiro. And then she kind of notices, he's like, forgive me, Lieutenant, this will probably take a while. Why don't you get yourself something to eat? And the commander was like, here, come, you can talk war stories. Lieutenant, the doctor do her work.
Actually, I always had a little bit of a fascination in medicine. If you don't mind, I'd actually be very curious to watch this procedure.
Well, if you're curious, you can assist me then.
Oh. Sure.
It will make the procedure go much quicker.
Of course. I know he'll be happy to hear the Chief of Security helped with his search.
What is your stats in medicine?
It's a 3.
So currently they're allies, so can she spend a momentum for collaboration medicine to give Jace a 5 in medicine and a focus?
Sure.
And then she'll give me a threat for bold medicine. It's only difficulty 3. What the? Wow. Roll the control medicine, 1 dice for the assist.
Okay. Is this with a focus?
Yes, this is with a focus and a 5.
Do you want me to change the medicine to a 5 for this?
Do you have a 5? I don't think you have a 5. You should only have 4. But yeah, go ahead and just change it to 5, and then just mark it back down to 3. Make sure you hit enter. Two momentum gained. As you spend the next hour assisting the doctor with the surgery, and once you're done, Yamasharo looks very much like a convincing Cardassian. All gray skin and appropriate.
I would like to be the first person that he sees as he wakes up with the scalpel.
Okay. And she revives you, the extra Moreau, and you come to.
I think it went well. As I hold it.
Char looks at him just like very frightened, and he checks his face and everything. Please, you search yourself.
Your face does not feel like your own because you can feel like different ridges and stuff where you do not have them. Yes, Lieutenant, I think you might make an excellent doctor one day if you ever decide to do a career change.
Keep that in mind. It was a true pleasure to work with such a skilled physician.
Char, look at him. Is there?
You're cutting it out.
I'm sorry. Is there a mirror or a?
I didn't.
Hello?
I think you're gonna have to type it.
Stupid thing. All right.
She takes a mirror and hands it to you. And you actually look very convincing. You don't look, hideous or anything like that. Well, Lieutenant, you're free to go. Please go light on solids for a little bit. Make sure you drink plenty of water and lay off the canar. She jokes.
If you would let the captain know he's next. On him.
Wait, is that Jace talking? Can you guys hear me?
I heard that.
Yes, that's Jace is the doctor.
Okay. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. And a very puzzlingly, go ahead and leave the sick thinking king is now doctor. Head goes over to the captain and tell him, that Quentin is doing surgery.
Well, he has had some medical experience. Plus, I don't think he's running the whole operation.
All right, you guys heard that though, right? It was clear, not broken up.
Clear?
It was not clear.
Got
Last
parts
thing.
and pieces.
Like
We heard.
but some like this. It was out like.
Well, blasted thing. Yeah. Oh, stupid guild. Blasted.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm currently squims.
All right. So do you step in, Captain?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I guess we're performing an all-nighter. Plenty of sleep, I guess, for later on.
Well, it's better to get it out of the way at the beginning so we get used to how everything feels before we get to the site.
Shran will retire to his quarters.
Making a point.
Hop on, Captain. Got some alterations to make, as I kind of pull the trigger twice with the laser scalp.
And the captain's just gonna cover his head. Like, oh no, here we go again.
I promise you won't feel a thing, Captain.
Oh, I believe you.
He's quite skilled, really. He is. Very helpful.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
Well, good. And the captain just lays back on the bed.
And she applies the appropriate. You know what? No. Lieutenant, do you mind applying the anesthesia?
Of course.
Control
We
medicine
just
difficulty.
count back from 100.
Control medicine difficulty 2.
I still a 5, or am I back to a 3?
Oh, you're back to a 3. She didn't give collaboration because you're not assisting her.
No focus this time. Not sure will let me use improvised weapons.
No.
It's a shame I can't use my value of no pain, no gain.
No.
What's the difficulty on this?
It's just 2.
2. All right, I will give you 1 momentum for an extra die.
Oh, you hit it, and the captain falls fast asleep.
Night, sir.
Shall we begin?
Let us.
And can she spend a momentum for collaboration for Jace?
I would say yes. Back to a 5 with a focus.
Yep. Get the momentum back, and total of 6 again. And after a while, you start to awake back up, Captain, and she holds a mirror, revealing your new Cardassian face. See, perfectly painless.
Doctor, I think I'm getting the hang of this. I prepared to tap in this time.
As I said, perhaps a career change is for you in the future.
Well, if you two will excuse me, I have a dinner appointment to keep.
Oh, well, enjoy your dinner, Captain. I believe that might be it for today.
Yes, I think night's sleep would do us wonders. As
Yes,
Doctor?
Doctor, have a good night, Lieutenant.
It's out to
Anything you wish to do, Jeddah?
Not really. Gilded is messing up right now, so.
Anybody or anything else anybody would wish to do?
I think I'm good.
going to bed, so
And for the final portion of the today's session, find the appropriate background. Meanwhile, on Cardassia, uh, Oska and her father are currently having a quiet stroll on their family property. Green tree, sort of grass, and a little bit of some trees mark the landscape with a large house in the background. As the two of them have a sort of conversation about her current dealings and her current missing aide, who's now wanted by Cardassian security forces. I assure you, Father, I will deal with the aide as soon as possible. My dear, I fear you've put too much faith in that man. You thought you thought you have rehabilitated him for his ways, and I know you don't like to judge people based on their family's history, but we all know too well that family is everything when it comes to Cardassians. I am aware, Father. I do apologize about the aid. I heard Lakewood Bemlet wishes to see you when he arrives. I don't care for that man. I know your misgivings, Father, but I assure you that I will have no part in what she wishes to do. I have a feeling that man one day is going to take you away from me. I'll see that doesn't happen. He's becoming more powerful than you, Father. Please be careful. Don't worry, my dear. I will see no harm comes to you. And with that, this will be to be continued.